Hello and welcome to the fifth episode of the YFO podcast, the Young Football Opinion, where we discuss everything football from a younger point of view. Joining me this week, as always, are Jack Stroudley.
Bonjour.
And Dominic Riley.
I need to think of something cultural. Hola. There we go.
There we go. See, it's the World Cup, so we've got,
Yeah, exactly.
Football's coming home!
Football's coming in.
Yes! We won! Well, let's not start with England because that's Group C. We're going to have just a brief analysis of 16 games that have gone on so far in the 8 groups, starting with the opening day, the host Russia obliterating the Saudis 5-0, 1 for Gudzinski, 1 for Zhuba, 1 for Golovin, 2 for Cheryshev. We all watched that absolute Saudi defensive masterclass, didn't we, guys?
I watched the first half.
I've at work, so no, I didn't.
Well,
yes, lads, dedication.
Well, Saudi Arabia's defence, I think, to be honest, as a back three, we would have done a better job, to be perfectly honest.
That's very clearly not true.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
But Alan Jagoev, one of their key players, went off in the 24th minute, but it kind of ended up being a blessing in disguise. Guys, Cheryshev came on, got 2 goals, changed the pace of the Russian attack, went on to win 5-0. Not much to say other than Saudi's defence was a bit shite.
Yeah, a bit bad.
Had a quality game, scored a free kick at the end, created so many chances for Russia. And if they're going to go far, he looks to be kind of key in the way they play. The other game in Group A, Uruguay, a last-minute winner from Atletico defender Jimenez. Broke Egypt's heart. Salah didn't play, didn't get brought on. Both watched that one, didn't you?
I was at work.
I think I watched that.
Well,
is this going to be a test of how many games I've seen?
George is just on his high horse because on his Snapchat he's put 18 out of 64 so far. Whereas he knows we haven't.
But no. Late goal from Jimenez. Egypt, up until that point, defended well, but just a bit unlucky. Uruguay probably didn't deserve it. I've never seen someone with as high a calibre as Suarez have such an awful game. He had no impact on the game. He just looked so far off the pace. It wasn't great. So at that point...
Special mention has got to go to the Uruguay schools and all the limbs in those classrooms.
Yeah. It was announced before the tournament that all school would be cancelled while Uruguay were on, and saw videos across social media of the limbs with the 8-year-olds running out their classroom onto the plane.
Mate, that is it's beautiful. It's beautiful, mate. It's beautiful.
Moving into Group B. Group B, probably the pinnacle of World Cup football, as Iran beat Morocco 1-0.
Up the Iranians.
Own goal by Morocco defender Boudabouz. Again, not the most... did either of you watch this one?
I did watch this.
It was actually quite... it's a fast-paced game, but both teams seemed to be lacking any creative threat, and it was just unlucky at the end, really, for the Moroccan defender and Iran. It's a famous win, their first ever win in World Cup finals. But they're going to struggle to qualify because the 2 other teams in the group, Spain and Portugal, played out, I'd argue, I don't think it's up to the debate.
There's no argument. It was the best game of round 1.
Yep.
Games. Come on, you both watched this one, yeah?
Yes, I was home.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, watch the game, everyone.
You got that, Jack. Well, Jack.
Big achievement.
Early drama as Nacho Fernandez brought down Ronaldo after a couple of stepovers for a penalty. Cooley puts it away. 1-0 to Portugal 4 minutes in.
He said Cooley puts
it away. I thought he said Cooley. I was like, what? How was he Portuguese? What has happened?
Can confirm Cooley Woodrow is not taking Portugal penalties. I said Cooley put it away. Okay? Right. 24.
Isn't it spelled with L-Y, not L-E-Y?
Moving on. Diego Costa equalised 20 minutes later. Then on the brink of half-time, despair for David De Gea.
Masterclass.
Huge blunder from the Spanish keeper. And If you remember last week after their friendly against Switzerland when he made a mistake, I did point out, big stage, big pressure. Might it get to him?
Here we go.
Who was right? It was me.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Well, I think based on that game...
Your friend on Twitter of score predictions says otherwise, but
Second half, Diego Costa bagged his second. Good attacking play by Spain. Ended up in the middle. Costa taps it in. But 3 minutes later, they then went ahead. Nacho Fernandez making amends for his giving away of the penalty early on. An absolute thunderbolt off the post.
Nice strike.
Cracking finish.
It's so clean. Oh,
I mean,
beautiful.
that goal was absolutely phenomenal, but even still wasn't the best goal in the game.
Yeah.
Moving on to that, the 88th minute, 25 yards out, right-hand side of the box, Cristiano Ronaldo completing his hat-trick, top right corner. Unbelievable, Jeff.
Unbelievable, Jeff. I don't know if you've seen the two people on the right side of the wall are Gerard Piqué and Sergio Busquets. Do you know how, when they jump, do you know how high that ball has to go to get over them and down again?
I think
it's unreal.
It was just over 7 inches.
7 feet, you spastic.
It definitely wouldn't have been 7 inches. I could kick a ball up 7 inches.
The ball is probably about 7 inches tall.
Right. Moving on to Group C. First game was played out between the French and the Australians. France, with their array of attacking talent...
Wait. Are we going to ask whether I watched this or not?
No.
I was at work, so...
I watched all 4 of these games.
That, just like, he's watched 2 in a row, but no, he's back at work. But no. Controversy for the first goal. Griezmann brought down. Personally, don't think it was a penalty.
I disagree.
I've seen the highlights. Obviously, I didn't see the game. I saw the highlights. I actually watched highlights of practically every game just so I had a clue of what to talk about. And to be honest with you, I think it was a penalty.
Oh, yeah, I say penalty.
Wow. I personally disagree, but 4 minutes later, that didn't matter because ludicrous handball from Samuel Umtiti.
No, too fair. On the 6-yard box, you can forgive him for confusing the football with basketball. Like you have to realise
that was shocking bantered on. It was a blatant handball. Let's be honest. Come on now.
I mean, that was mean. I'm actually not.
It was all accurate.
Penalty dispatched by the beautiful beard man himself, Mile Jedinak.
Shame we couldn't do that at Wembley.
Just the one Villa fan that we have is just unsubscribed.
He's absolutely gutted.
4 weeks on, and we're still going on about.
Actually, no, never mind. Continue.
And then late on, a Paul Pogba shot deflected off the Australian fullback Behic off the bar. That was unlucky. I thought Australia, defended incredibly for the whole game.
France weren't good. For all the attacking talent they have, they really didn't show it. And that's a lucky goal as well.
In some periods of the game, Australia really did play some beautiful football, which was mainly orchestrated by the man in the middle, Aaron Moy. He had a sensational game. And
yeah, agreed.
They were unlucky. And France, they were a lot of people's picks to win it. Jack.
Sorry, my team won and both of your teams drew.
Oh, shut up, yeah. Iceland are a good team.
I later said, England over Spain, but...
No, but that's...
Can I just make a point of how the first round, or the first week of games of the World Cup, should I say, are always ridiculously cagey. There is never... Apart from really Portugal, there was no really open games where you thought, "Cool, there's going to be an absolute flurry of goals here," where both teams are going for it. The majority of the games are very cagey, and it took 1 or 2 goals to. There wasn't many games where there was more than a goal margin between the two sides. Yeah. I think, obviously, and I think now in the world, we're going to start seeing more the bigger teams are going to start performing. It's basically what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Well, talking of two lesser teams, my
If
dark
you
horse
fucking dare. Okay, right, sorry.
the next game against Peru. Well, it wasn't the next game, but the other game in Group C.
I saw this one.
1-0. How Peru didn't score that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
I know I backed Denmark before the tournament started, and admittedly they got the win. But Peru not scoring that game, let alone getting a point, is an absolute outrage for the amount of chances they created.
I mean, they've only got. I agree. I agree with the fact that they should have scored, but they've only got themselves to blame. It's not as if they had a penalty and they had countless chances.
Oh, can we
They've only
talk
got
about
themselves to
the
blame.
penalty? The penalty.
It's still going now. It's still going now.
It's landed in my garden a few seconds ago.
Absolutely awful. But
Shocking.
Shut up.
Denmark come away with the 3 points, move into Group D, and Dom, your picks to win the World Cup.
Yeah.
Great performance against Iceland, wasn't it? In their 1-1 draw.
Well,
Your team drew as well.
Yeah.
No, backing England.
Right. First of all, right, Messi can die. Right. And second of all,
Bit of an overestimate. Right.
No.
I love how in a week he's gone from Messi winning the Golden Ball, the Golden Boot.
No,
and the
it's
World
still happened. It's still going to happen. But based on that game, just no.
Can confirm I also missed this game.
Also, Iceland are actually they're not a very good team, but they are a good team. Like, they're not the Iceland, they're nowhere near the worst team in this tournament at all. It's not as much to upset people are bigging it up to be, but obviously, it's Argentina.
It is also still an upset considering
Argentina.
But
one more
should
thing,
be in the
right?
top four.
I'm not claiming to be an expert on Argentinian football, right? But you're not seriously telling me this Meza bloke is better than Dybala, right? I'm sorry. You're not seriously telling me he should have started.
Their team was a lot better. Iceland defended very creditably. Argentina just really couldn't.
Iceland played for the draw, and fair play to them. They executed their plan very well. Doesn't mean Argentina shouldn't have won, but
well, I don't know, because first half
they missed the penalty as well.
But first half Iceland had the better of the chances. I mean, there was that one about 6 minutes in which fell to
yeah.
I don't know who it was. It might have been Finn Bogerson at the back post, where he was about 4 yards out, just to the left of the goal, and he put it wide. I mean, they could have been 2-3-0 up 25 minutes in, but no, not the best start for Messi in Argentina. The other game in that group, Croatia coming away 2-0 winners against Nigeria. Really wasn't a good game to watch. I don't know if either of you watched the game.
Of course I watched it.
Really boring game of football to watch.
Yeah, I couldn't have picked a worse game to see out of.
Croatia did the job. They're a good team, Croatia.
Stokes' new signing, whatever his name is, Atebo, scored an own goal early on from a Mandzukic header, and a Luka Modric penalty with 20 minutes from time secured the win and put them top of the group. Don't need to talk much more about that game. Moving into Group E, Costa Rica 0, Serbia 1. An absolute screamer of a free kick from Alexander
Kolarov.
It was a great free.
30 yards out, top right corner.
Good assist, Mitro, mate. I saw it. The other guy didn't. I know you're listening.
Alexander Mitrovic, with one of his worst games, the chance to score. Wasn't ideal from his point of view, but from a neutral's point of view, again, not a great game of football, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
I wouldn't know.
There's one moment to win it. Kolarov provided that. The other game in that group saw Brazil surprised to a 1-1 draw, like Argentina were. Early goal from Coutinho, an absolute screamer with his right foot, bends into the far right corner.
That is classic Coutinho, isn't it?
It was going wide, but the curl put it right into the right-hand corner. Absolute beauty. But early on in the second half, from a corner, the Swiss defender Zuba, completely unmarked, knocks it into the Brazil net, and Brazil couldn't find a way through in the last 40 minutes and Switzerland, the chances that Shaqiri and co were making, they could have easily won the game.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. I think Brazil, like many of the bigger nations, disappointed because of what Jack said. It's quite a cagey start because no one wants to lose the first game. But you look at the quality that Brazil have, especially going forward. It doesn't really matter who they're playing against. You expect them to score goals, and fair play to Switzerland, they kept them out because they didn't really look that dangerous really second half. Brazil, I don't think.
Going on to Group F, possibly the biggest surprise for the first round of games, and probably one of the best games. Germany 0, Mexico 1. And so deserved. Mexico, if they had... Obviously, they had the threat of Lozano, Vela, Hernandez in their forward line. But if their decision-making was right, I'm genuinely not exaggerating when I say we could be talking 4 or 5-0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Mexico were unbelievable. And Germany won.
It was a Chucky Lozano finish that won them the game. But I'll say this now. Mexico going forward, they were so brave and it was incredible to watch. But they were awful in the final three. And they were very good going forward. But in the final third, they didn't produce enough. Because if they did, they could have thrashed the world champions.
Mm-hmm.
I think that just goes to show that, I know, obviously it is quite a big upset, but I think that just goes to show the quality that their front three actually possesses and how clinical they actually are. And I think realistically they'll beat Sweden and South Korea because both teams look shocking in their game.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
But they won't. But realistically, they probably won't make it past round of 16 quarterfinals max.
The thing is, right, you say that about Mexico, but the likelihood is that they'll go on to win Group F now, because it's likely that they will go on to beat
they'll beat Sweden and South Korea, definitely.
And that gives them the runners-up of Group E, which is Brazil's group, which is likely to be the Serbs or the Swiss.
Back Serbia.
Yeah, back Serbia.
But it's a very winnable game.
No, it is. You are right.
More importantly, I think there's a big chance of seeing Brazil-Germany in the round of 16.
The thing is, if Germany comes second and Brazil win Group E, Brazil could be playing Germany.
Don't know what to say that.
Sorry, but
more importantly, it would mean that we'd get bloody Mexico in the fucking quarterfinals. Coming home.
Football's coming home.
I don't think people realise, right, at this point, if Mexico win Group F and they then go up, Mexico versus either Serbia or Switzerland, the winner of that game goes on to play the winner of the eighth round of 16 game, which is the runner-up in our group. So at this point, do we want to come
Football's coming home. It's coming home.
Realistically, whether we want to come second or not, we're coming second.
The thing is, I'm going to move on to the other game in that group, which we'll talk about briefly. It was a Sweden 1, South Korea 0. Absolutely.
It's convenient how I saw Sweden, South Korea, but not Germany, Mexico.
Definite penalty which was given. Sweden's centre-back captain Andreas Grankvist stood up, calmly put away. And then we move into Group G. The first game, Belgium 3, Panama 0. Panama, very good defensively in the first half. Bit overwhelmed in the second half.
I think it was just expected, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, eventually it just got there. It was like, tied them out. Belgium did the dust.
And an absolute screaming volley from the edge of the box from Dries Mertens.
Mm-hmm.
But no. But then...
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
11 minutes in, Tunisia v England. All into the box. Header, John Stones. Incredible save by the Tunisia captain. Where's Harry, says Southgate. There he is. 1-0 to England. Yeah!
You think we'd bloody won it already?
Yeah, I know. It's unbelievable.
Then 35 minutes in, Kyle Walker decides, fuck it. I'm going to elbow this Tunisian guy. Gives away a penalty. It's 1-1. Fuck it. We're going out in the group.
Kyle Walker decides, fuck it.
Our group chat when it went 1-0 was unreal. It was chaos all over the shop.
But then...
Just had me and George telling everyone to calm down.
We were bloody quality first half. We played such. We should have
about
got
7.
We did play very good in the first half, and then you
But-
compare it to the second half. The second half was shocking.
Yeah, we were so bad.
The second half, not much is happening. England don't look to be looking to get through to the win. It doesn't look to be happening. 91st minute, it's a corner. Trippier whips it in. Harry Maguire heads it on over the back post, and it's King Kane. England won it against it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a few questions. First of all, so when did Trippier become French? It's not called Trippier. It's called Trippier. All right. And second of all, Harry Maguire is better than Bobby Moore. End of. No debate. He's so good.
But on a genuine serious note, the first half we should have been about 2 or 3 up.
Yeah.
Then the second half the second half we looked absolutely atrocious. Like I know we won, and I don't want to be pessimistic, but the second half was really poor.
Yeah, but it was about limbs all over the entire country, so who cares?
Yeah, true.
So, what we were just mentioning is, coming second in the group, we're most likely going to get Mexico or Serbia in the quarter-final.
Let's calm down a bit. I've got round 16 to play first.
We also have to get past bloody Panama.
Thing is, I'm going to ask you this question now. Do we want England? Well, the thing is, right. Well, let's talk about Group H. Let's keep the flow of what we're going with here. Earlier on today, crazy start to the game between Colombia and Japan. 2 minutes in, Kagawa is through on goal, takes a shot, is saved. Another Japanese player takes a shot. Carlos Sanchez, deliberate handball, penalty, 1-0 Japan. They go on to win 2-1. Big surprise there.
Mm-hmm.
Colombia win. Later in the day, Poland expected to beat Senegal. Senegal win 2-1. That group is wide open, which could leave a very winnable game in the last 16 for England.
It could. That group has always always been very interesting because everyone writes off Japan. They were always at the World Cup, so they've always got quality there. And Senegal aren't exactly no pushovers. Let's have it right. They've got a lot of good, pacey, attacking players. That group, as you said, is wide open. And the thing is, the way you've got to look at it is Colombia and Poland have still got to play each other. It's most likely one, if not both of them, won't make it to the round of 16.
Which leaves... we're English. Let's talk about England.
I think everyone's gathered that by now.
Yeah, I think we put that one out.
Right. So, where do we go now? Because I think we'll both agree that Tunisia and Panama, there should be winnable games again for England and Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
Going into that last game, do we want? Well, we can't decide what happens in Group H. We can't decide what happens to Mexico, Serbia, etc. But you've got to think now: is coming second in our group better for us?
I think you've got to wait. You've got to wait and see what happens with Mexico.
Yeah, I think
see if they still. So what you got to look is their games will be done before ours. So you've got to wait and see. I think you've got to wait and see how they do against Sweden, South Korea, how Germany do against Sweden and South Korea, and then from then onwards, you've got to say, right, where do you want to finish? Do you want to finish first? Do you want to finish second? I think no matter where we want to finish, we're going to finish second. I think Belgium are their team, but
I think from my point of view at this point, there are no advantages to winning the group. Because if
I disagree.
There's still another 2 games to go, George.
If we win the Group H, after they've lost and they've got to play each other, it's likely Colombia or Poland will come second in that group. That's my first point. Second point, if we win the group, the likelihood is if we win the round of 16, we play Germany or Brazil at this point. Obviously, in a week's time, if Mexico have lost and Germany have won, that can change. But at this point, second looks the better option. As weird.
The way I look at it is, well, I know no one expects England to win the World Cup, right? But
I do.
Okay, fine. If you think England to win the World Cup, it doesn't matter who we play and when. We should be able to beat everyone. So what's the difference?
Good point. Football's coming home.
Exactly. I think also, it obviously depends on where Mexico come, but I think as a manager, and Gareth Southgate will say, even no matter what, before the Belgian game, no matter who we'll play and whatever could happen in the quarterfinals, he will go out and say, I want you to win this game. I don't think he cares
And I think we can.
I think we can. I don't think we will.
Hey, I think got to be patient. There's still 180 minutes of group football still to be played, and I think that saying now, oh, we should go for first, oh, we should go for second. Well, be patient.
Yeah.
We're getting out the group. Just got to wait and see who it's going to be.
My opinion, regardless of who we play in future games, is I really do believe we're capable of winning the group because, from my perspective, I think we want Belgium to really put a few past Tunisia. I think the game against Tunisia for us, with our late winner, will have brought so much confidence to the team that I think we will comfortably beat Panama. I think going into that Belgium game, we'll be oozing of confidence. And I think Belgium, they might seem a bit complacent after 2 easy games, to be honest.
But you say that we've also technically had 2 easy games, and you said about the whole confidence thing. You've just made the statement of Belgium need to put a few past Tunisia. So if we're oozing confidence after, then surely they are as well.
Yeah, I agree.
They'll be more complacent from more comfortable wins. But if we've got that confidence of winning late on.
But if we beat Panama 4-0, aren't we going to have that point of being over complacent as well?
You've got you've got to look at your last game, and you've got to look at the last game, and they're going to be confident of, oh yeah, we took the last minute winner off of Tunisia. But after the Panama game, they're going to be looking at the Belgium game. They're not going to. You've got to always look ahead. You can't look back and say, "Oh, we've done this, we've done this." You've always got to look ahead, and you've always got to just go for it there. And I think you can't say one thing for one team and then one thing for another because they both got the 2 easy games out of the way first. So
I also think that, especially in as big a stage as the World Cup, the matches you previously played, obviously they have a psychological effect, but realistically, it's 90 minutes, 2 teams against each other. The results before, yes, they matter, but it's not make or break, I don't think. I think it's more England versus Belgium than England versus Tunisia and Panama versus Belgium versus Tunisia and Panama, if you get me.
I'd also say, I think, personally, and I know I said forget future games, but assuming we go into, because obviously the Group E and Group F games are played before us. Assuming Mexico win, assuming Brazil and Mexico win their groups, are we happy? Are we happy in saying an ideal result against Belgium is a draw? Because assuming they have a better goal difference, we finish second, we finish unbeaten, and we've got confidence going into a World Cup run-in where we're looking at a winnable game against the winners of Group H, and a winnable game against either Mexico, against Serbia, or Switzerland.
That's complete. I completely agree.
I don't.
You cannot say a draw against Belgium is a bad result.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying if we can beat Belgium, we can beat Germany.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
I think the main aim. I think realistically, the main aim is still qualification.
I don't really care how we get through.
Get the 3 points against Panama. Chill out.
Yeah.
We'll move on from going over the groups, and I'm going to ask you both now: who is your star performer from the first round of games? We'll start with Jack.
Ronaldo. I think it's got to be really, surely. The way you got to look at it, Portugal were on the back foot for about 80 minutes of their game against Spain. They had 3 shots on target, all 3 from Ronaldo, and he scored all 3.
Fair enough. Personally, I'm going to go Harry Kane.
Oh,
He dug us out. He dug us out late on. He put in that captain's performance. I know Ronaldo did it for Portugal, but Kane won us the game. So I'm going to go Harry Kane. Dom, who are you going to go for?
Harry Maguire. New Bobby Moore.
Oh, Christ.
I don't think that's quite as ridiculous as claiming Harry Kane did better than Ronaldo when he just scored 1 less goal. And it was against Tunisia and not Spain. But anyway.
Regardless, what was everyone's biggest shot? Start with Dom.
I've got 2 here. Mexico. Not just they beat Germany, but how good they were. And also I've put Russia in there because I think they were exceptional. I know Saudi Arabia aren't very good, but opening World Cup, coming back like KG, smash them 5-0, and they look very good.
Fair points, mate. I think personally, I was going to say I'm going to put Japan up there because of the form they've been in going into the World Cup. But
Yep.
the early red card made it less of a surprise. But I'm still going to put Japan up there. Again, I'd say Australia up there because of how well they performed. But at the end of the day, they didn't get the result. So I think I'm going to... Yeah, I can't look past the Mexico performance. It wasn't just the result they got against the Germans. It was the way they performed. And Jack, what's your biggest surprise so far?
I'm going to have to agree with both of you. Mexico. I mean, like I said, as we've all gathered, didn't watch the game, but but I think you can't deny that to get a result against the Germans, the world champions, and to play in the manner that they did, from what FIFA TV highlights show me, they done a job.
Always reliable, FIFA TV.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'm going to go goal of the first round of games. I'm going to... go on, Dom. You kick off with this one.
All right. Oh, well, I kind of mixed in best and favourite. Best goal, I think, is the Ronaldo free kick, although there admittedly are a lot of contenders. My favourite goal, obviously Harry Kane, second goal. But I've put the Iran goal in there as well because, I mean, for Iran, the country, 95th minute, bloody scenes.
Viva Morocco.
Jack, yours?
We seem to put a finger for best and favourite goal now. So the best goal of the tournament, not tournament, of the group stage was the first round of group stage games. There we go. Was the Ronaldo free kick. I think you can't look past that. My favourite goal, I think, has to be Harry Kane's against Tunisia, the second one.
I'm going to go different best goal because I think Kolarov's free kick was better and is getting overlooked a bit, to be honest. Favourite goal, I've got three. I think one of them is Lozano's goal because it's just crazy for Mexico. The other two I'm going to go for are Harry Kane and Harry Kane.
Shock. What a shock.
So, last part about the current World Cup thing that we're talking about. We're going to just go over predictions for the next set of games. So we'll do the same as last time, do alternating. Dom, I'm going to give you Group A.
Yes,
Russia, Egypt.
3-1 Russia.
Uruguay v Saudi Arabia.
2-0 Uruguay.
Jack, Portugal, Morocco.
Oh, are we all ready? Are we all ready for this?
Oh, no.
1-0 Morocco. I'm telling you, Morocco are finishing...
They've just lost to Iran.
Morocco are finishing second, and there is nothing you can do about it. I am telling you.
Yeah, shut up. Iran, Spain.
2-0 Spain.
Dom, Denmark, Australia.
Ooh, 1-0.
Taking offence. France, Peru.
2-0 France.
Jack, Argentina, Croatia.
1-0 Argentina.
I'm gonna put it out there and say 1-0 Croatia.
Oh,
Put it out there. I'm going to stab you next time I see you.
Nigeria, Iceland, Jack.
3-1 Iceland.
Oh.
Dom, Brazil, Costa Rica.
2-0 Brazil.
Serbia, Switzerland.
2-1 Serbia. Stop the Serbs.
Jack, South Korea, Mexico.
Oh, blimey, what a game. 2-0 Mexico.
Dom, Germany. Why Dom? Jack, Germany, Sweden.
Fine, cool. 1-0 Germany.
Belgium, Tunisia.
2-0 Belgium.
And then England 6, Panama 0. England, Panama.
4-0 England.
Good boy. And then Jack, Japan, Senegal.
You've given me the toughest group.
I tell you what, a draw in that game and that group's just going to be crazy going into the last game.
1-0 Japan.
Up the Japanese.
Poland, Colombia.
2-1 Colombia.
Fair enough.
The Polacks are going home. They're going back to their own works.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Don't embrace this one. So, this week, it has been primarily about the World Cup, but there's been so much transfer news that we can't dedicate a huge section of the podcast to it. I will start off with some of the deals that have taken place and some of the rumours that are in there. Well, for me, it's just done deals. So, at the start of the week, Ajax winger Justin Kluivert completed an £18 million move to Roma. that's been seen coming for a while. Today it's been announced that Bernd Leno has joined Arsenal for £20 million. Whether that means Cech or Ospina will be moving on, who knows? Preston left back, Greg Cunningham. This is probably the big one for me, lads. I'm not going to lie. I've been looking forward to this one. But yeah, the Irish left back, Greg Cunningham, who's had a couple of creditable seasons with Preston North End in the Championship, made a move to newly promoted Premier League side Cardiff City.
Just going down, aren't they? Just are going down.
It's just going straight back down.
Yeah, along with the signing of Josh Murphy for 12 million. So,
Awful.
So it's just to be clear, Justin Kluivert, like 18, 19-year-old son of Patrick Kluivert, has gone to Roma for 18 million, but Josh Murphy's gone to Cardiff for 12.
yes.
And also Deulofeu went to Watford for 11.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Wolves have been busy this week. They've signed the Mexican striker from Benfica on loan, Raul Jimenez, as well as yesterday acquiring Sporting Lisbon keeper Rui Patricio on a free, which is a remarkable piece of business, a real sign of intent from Wolves. During the week, Brighton centre-back Connor Goldson joined Steven Gerrard's Rangers for £2 million. Mainly plays centre-back, can play right-back. Been at Brighton for 3 years. Not been getting the most appearances, so not a surprise that he's
very highly rated, Connor Goldson, by Brighton fans.
Yeah, especially by Brighton fans. So they were very upset when he left, so should do well in Scotland. Today announced that the French under-21 centre-back Issa Diop has signed for West Ham for £25 million from Peru. In his 2 years at the club, he scored 6 goals in 85. He's gone through the French national team system up until under-21s level, playing for France under-16s, under-17s, under-18s, under-19s, under-20s. And currently is in well, finally, from my point of view, Celtic this week broke their transfer record with the signing of Odsonne Edouard for £9 million. The French Ghanaian striker signed from Paris Saint-Germain. Like I said, record transfer. He was on loan there last season and got 15 goals in 22 games. Ooh. And pass over to Jack to do his section.
Yep, as per usual, I've been given the absolute scorchers, so strap So we've got not the Forest of someone. I'm going to butcher all these names. Diogo Goncalves, I don't know.
Oh, that's the one, mate. That's the one.
And João Carvalho. And João Carvalho. Both, I'm going to assume, are Portuguese.
Yep.
And they're just trying to replicate Wolves, aren't they? Let's have it right.
They've got the 4-game Mendes link, so.
Do they?
Yeah. Did you not know this?
No, I didn't know this at all. Right, so we may as well put Forest away for the 2019-20 season then. So then next we've got Marley Watkins.
He's got bigger and bigger every time.
Who's joined Bristol City for £1 million. I thought he'd done quite well at Norwich until I looked at his stats and found out that he played 24 games last year, 12 off the bench and 12 starting, as an attacking midfielder, scored 0 goals and got 1 assist.
Oh, well in, Marley.
That is shocking, and that's a weird bit of business, that. Dean Henderson has joined Sheffield United on loan. He was the goalkeeper for Shrewsbury last season, and he was linked with joining Fulham. So I think that's quite
very, very impressive from what I saw of him in the playoffs against Charlton over 2 legs. And he's highly rated at Man United as well. So
cheers, George. This is my section. Cheers.
Not commented on mine.
But yeah, I do think that is quite a good signing for Sheffield United. Keeping with the big names, Mark Navarro has joined Watford for £2 million from Espanyol.
I really do shaft him with the transfer set.
Yeah, you really do.
So Mark Navarro, I've done a bit of research in terms of like stats. And Mark Navarro last season, he averaged 1.1 tackles per game compared to Cabaselli's 1.7 and Prodal's 1.5. So, I mean, strength and depth and all that, but, I mean, not exactly a world beater, is he? Next, you've got Jefferson Lerma, 16 million to Bournemouth. Now, I know that nobody knows who he is, so good thing I'm here.
I do. He was playing for Colombia today in midfield.
Oh. Well, they done well, didn't they?
I've got a fucking clue who he is.
Yeah, he's a centre mid for Levante. He can play at CDM and at right back. That's about it, to be honest with you. And he's Colombian, according to George. So yeah, sweet, good. Next up, Callum Chambers, to all of our beloved Fulham. £27 million.
You probably should mention these are rumours now, not done deals.
Okay, that's been mentioned. So Jefferson Lerma, Chambers, and the next one are rumours. The other ones are done deals. Callum Chambers, Fulham, 27 million. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's a decent centre half. But 27 million.
I'd like to point out we were willing to pay we want to pay about 16 million, but they want 27 million.
I would know. I would not.
They can suck a fat one as far as I'm concerned.
Not spend 27 million on Callum Chambers. And finally, final one for my section, Lucas Fabianski, 7 million to West Ham, rumoured. For me, one of the better keepers in the Premier League last season. And I think that he is an improvement on Joe Hart and Adrian. And I think that would be quite a good signing for West Ham, as well as Swansea would recuperate a bit of money after going down. So, go on, Dom.
Well, I've actually got some absolute well-beaters here and a lot of discussion potential. So, we'll start with Marvin Plattenhardt. And because I'm a keen researcher, I've done my research. He's the current preferred left-back for the German national team. He did start against Mexico. But not only that, and obviously very established for Hertha Berlin, he has got a left foot wand of a free kick. Like, as in, he is the only 7 goals he can score in his entire career have all been free kicks. And he's an absolute genius of free kicks. So
Leighton Baines, he's the perfect replacement for Leighton Baines then.
Well, yeah, I mean, he didn't take penalties. But 26 years old, seems pretty good to me. It starts for Germany, he can't be bad. £20 million is a very good price as well for Everton. Moving on to Gelson Mines, which George actually has put down as 30 million. It has to be for free, you retard, because he got contract cancelled.
No. They were willing to bid 30 million before the contract thing came out.
Okay, well, not 30 million now. Very quick one.
Is he one of the ones that has definitely confirmed he's terminating?
Yes.
Okay.
He is currently a free agent in Russia with Portugal. Yeah, I wouldn't mind him. 23 years old, very, very quick, established player in Portugal. So, yeah, especially on a free transfer, it'd be very, very good for Arsenal. I'm not sure where they'd use him, considering the attacking talent they have. Staying with Arsenal, oh God, no, you think you got bad names? Socrates Papastathopoulos. That's the one.
No one asked you to do his surname. You just had to say Socrates.
Okay, Socrates. 30 years old. The rumoured fee is about 16 million. Very established player with Dortmund. Been there for about 10 years, which I didn't know at the time. Established international, 79 caps for Greece. Would be a very good centre back. Although I don't know, I'd have this thing about signing players over 30. I'd just be a bit like, he's only got a couple of years left in him, but seems a good player and very experienced. Moving on, Jordan Ayew. This is the rumour of, Fulham had a bid of £8 million for him. But it's not just Fulham who bid for him. There's also interest from Newcastle, Celtic, and even potentially Liverpool, apparently, which I don't really understand. But either way, that's what this website says, so you've got to believe it. We had an £8 million bid. Fulham had an £8 million bid rejected, and I pray to God we don't get to do another one, because I do not want Jordan Ayew, especially not for over £8 million. Next one, Jack Grealish. I think I've discussed before. On the way to, potentially on the way to Spurs, £15 million. I think that's a decent price for Jack Grealish, to be fair. But I don't see where he'd start at Spurs anytime soon, so I don't know if for him that's really the best move. The next one I want to get you guys' opinions on, because it just seems really ridiculous to me. Craig Dawson and Jay Rodriguez, 25 million to Burnley. Can someone tell me where Craig Dawson got his value from? Please.
No clue, mate. He's not that good, is he? Let's be honest.
No, he's really, really not. I don't understand. Jay Rodriguez is about 10 mil I could get. Where did Craig Dawson get his value? I don't know. Anyway, moving on to one potentially a lot more exciting. Felipe Anderson to West Ham, which would be a very good signing. Clearly, Manuel Pellegrini having an effect. Apparently, this one could rise to about £38 million. And but West Ham are bidding kind of 33, and their fans are getting a bit annoyed that they're only bidding 33.
I like what Pellegrini's trying to do though. Like,
Yeah, I rate Pellegrini. I think West Ham will do very well next year.
it's a Diop, Felipe Anderson, maybe Javier Pastore. I think West Ham fans, it's going to be good because they've had so many problems with the board not spending enough money. And if they get Diop, Anderson, and Pastore, you're looking at that's about £8 million spent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it'd be a very good signing for West Ham. Especially if you look at their front three then with, Arnautovic, Lanzini. So, and the final one, James Maddison, which I believe is going to be confirmed tomorrow as recording this. I believe £22 million is the rough fee. And while obviously I think James Maddison's a very good player, at Leicester, especially if Riyad Mahrez stays, I don't see where he fits in, if I'm honest.
The same fee was agreed with Southampton, but
Yeah.
He chose
we
North.
wanted to go Leicester because it's closer. But if you're looking at defence, I think he fits in a lot better at Southampton, but we'll see how.
I think because if you look at Leicester's forward options, obviously you got Vardy up front, but you got Iheanacho, Okazaki, Diabate, Mahrez, Damari Gray, Mark O'Brien, Adrian Silva as well. So I don't really see where he fits in. Not that I don't think he'd be a success. I just clearly a talented footballer, but I don't know. I'd like to see if he went where he'd fit in, how that would work. But yeah, that is my section done. So George, I'll hand over to you.
So that wraps up the 5th episode of the YFO podcast. Been fairly two-dimensional with transfers in the World Cup, but it's the summer. That's what we love, and it's going to be the exact same next week. So thank you for joining me, as always, Jack Stroudley.
It's all right, Sam. It's all right.
And the sex machine himself, Dominic Riley.
You wouldn't go that far.
I'm not sure I got that title. I'm not sure I got that title, but thank you very much. I'll take that. Thank you. Gracias. Culture.
Next week, for episode 6, where England will be a step closer to winning the World Cup. Come on, England!
Christ alive.
Jesus Christ, and you putting down.